Hey guys, it's Lego Girl 1 and welcome back to Topic Tuesday. For today's Topic Tuesday, I'm going to be talking to you about one of the trips that I have taken in my lifetime. And I have been on a lot of trips, like everybody needs a vacation now and then. I've been around the country, like I've been to Washington, D.C., I've been to Texas, and I've also been to Florida, of course, to go to Disney World. I've been to Disney 4 times, by the way. And I've also went to Canada. But there's one place my parents have always gone to, that I went to, that Avery is in now. And that, my friends, is Ireland. So if you look around the office, you can see plenty of posters about Ireland. And right here is an actual map of Ireland, which has a lot of locations my parents have went to. And this is an Ireland poster. So yeah, we often call our office the Irish room because it has a lot of Ireland posters. So yes, my parents have been to Ireland 5 times and I only went once. And that was the last time we had been there, which was 2 years ago. So during April break of 2014, me and my parents took a week-long trip to Ireland. It was not fun for my parents because they always were familiar with going a lot longer, like the amount of times Avery's going to be in Ireland. That was what my parents had envisioned. But due to April break, we had to cut it short so I could get to school. I did miss one day because it was middle school, so they didn't really care if I missed a day. High school would be a bigger problem, though, which is why we would probably go in the summer like what Avery would be doing, but Ireland is a little too expensive for us. And plus, we have our pool cutting back on everything we have, so we're not really taking a vacation this year. But about the Ireland trip, it was a very interesting haul. I consider it one of the most interesting trips I've taken, but it's not one of my favorite. So, it all started when we went to JFK Airport. We were going on an Aer Lingus jet to Ireland. And this was after school, so we took the overnight flight, and that was not fun. I could not get comfortable sleeping on the flight because I can't really rest my legs against other people's chairs because other people might get a little bothered by that. So, I felt disgusting. I felt like I was going to throw up by the time we arrived at Dublin, which was where the plane landed. Then we went over to a car rental, which we had always been familiar with ever since we started going to Ireland a while back. And then the car we got was a stick shift, which I think is popular in Ireland, and of course my dad had to drive on the other side of the road. In America, my dad had to drive on the left side of the road, which is a rule in areas of like the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Australia. But interestingly, some areas of Europe and Asia don't even drive on the left. They drive in the right like we do in America. So, yes. That was one thing that my dad had to adjust to. Another thing was that Dad had to do a lot of jerking the car around because it's a stick shift. And I don't know. I mean, some people that have cars would understand how stick shifts operate if they drive one, or if they know how to drive one, or if they've seen people drive one. It was annoying because I was very tired from the plane ride, did not get much sleep because it was an overnight flight. And then we were going up a steep hill because we were going to do some driving out towards some Irish scenic areas. And the hill was bumpy, and my dad was jerking the car. I felt like I was going to throw up. So we pulled the car over, and thankfully I didn't throw up, but I just needed to have a quick swig. In other words, drink a water. Also, they have Volvic water in Ireland, and if you know the internet meme about the Volvic commercial, then yeah, I just laughed because I remember hearing about Volvic when I was watching YouTube poop, and yes, You know the Mr. Volcano commercial? I'm talking about that one. I'll put a link in the description. Anyway, we stayed at a bed and breakfast house the first few nights that was held by a family my parents had been familiar with ever since their times coming back in Ireland 20 years ago. I had fun meeting their kids. I introduced them to Minecraft, which was a game I was into at the time. And then sleeping was okay. And also, Wi-Fi I had some issues with. So, if I wanted to text people, I had to rely on their Wi-Fi. And back then I did not have a phone, so I had to text off of my Amazon Kindle Fire. Now, some notable places we went to were Bunratty Castle, Blarney Castle, Cliffs of Moher, and Aran Island. The castles I went to were very nice. I kissed the Blarney Stone, yes. And the only problem I had with them was that I had to go up windy, twisty stairwells that were very skinny. And I got claustrophobic. Personally, I thought it was a little dangerous. But hey, it's what those things are built out of in Ireland, because Ireland is a pretty old place. It's way older than America. Like, goes all the way back to the 1100s, even earlier. But another thing notable about Ireland is that they had a lot of bars and pubs and other things like that. Whenever we went to pubs, my parents were always sober. They would only drink like maybe one or two things, but my parents do not kill it with drinking. We do not like to get drunk. It's not a pleasant sight, and it's kind of sick. So, as for me, I had a hard time adjusting to the culture. Like, I was not on my usual bedtime schedule because their time is shifted quite up ahead in Ireland. Like, it is 10:41 now in the United States, but out towards Avery's wing, because he's in Ireland, it is, let's see, it is 3:41 in Ireland. 5 hours ahead, and it is noon. It is afternoon in Ireland, but it's still morning out in the capital region. So, as for the other places, like the Cliffs of Moher, those were beautiful. I liked those. We took a little walk out by some amazing cliffs that overlooked the water, and we didn't go on the boat tour. Avery went on the boat tour, and we could have gone on it, but we didn't have much time. We also ate it in a nice bar by the bay, and it was pretty nice. That was one of the better days of Ireland. And then the Aran Islands, those were probably the best part. We rowed a boat over to the islands themselves, and we got to have a little bus tour. I liked the bus driver. He was funny. He made some jokes. We all went ha-ha at them. And there was plenty of stone structures. We even saw a seal on the shores of the, I think it's the Atlantic. I think that's on the coast of the Atlantic. I'm just gonna... Yeah, it is on the Atlantic. I just saw the picture of Ireland hanging up on the wall right by the computer. And also, we even saw some farm animals out there, like cows, horses, and even a donkey. And eating was okay. We didn't eat much because we were away from the United States, and Ireland has different names of saying food. Like, if you're ordering potato chips, you would say crisps, because chips is what is used for French fries. And if you order lemonade, they're going to give you soda, or something like soda. It's like white soda. My parents call it white lemonade. And also, other food we had ordered in Ireland was a little different too than what I had been used to. And there were plenty of other cool things we could have done there that we didn't get to do. Like, we really wanted to go over to see more of Galway, but we didn't see much. We only pretty much saw the Clifton Moor. We also stayed at another place for the rest of the nights we were in Ireland. That was not as awesome as I had hoped. It was like a little cottage out by some nearby people that had a house, and that place wasn't that great. The weather was surprisingly nice for Ireland, with the darkest day probably being the day after we got to Ireland, and it was pretty damp out there because Ireland has some wet grass, and sleeping in bed was hard because at one point one of my bed was wet, and it was awful. Like, if you ever slept in a damp bed before, like we do up at camps, because it's damp up there sometimes. Yeah. The only difference is that camp has a very flat area, and Ireland has some mountainous portions. But, if anything, we also got to see some of the gravestones of our family relatives. Like, the guy that started off my dad's family was named Andrew Doherty, and it's not Doherty, because their names are different. Like, the original spelling of Doherty was Doherty, but the one we have is Dougherty. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Ireland trip. I was okay in Ireland, and then it was finally time to head back home. And when we got home, I felt flushed. Ireland was a pretty exhausting trip, but it was effective. At least I tried it, and it was interesting. And that is it for me. Oh, and one more thing is that the wall color in the office, which is like a pale green color, is going to be the color probably for my new bedroom. Although we have some paint chips out picked, so we're going to see what we can come up with. And as for Avery Heaney TV, I'm glad you're having fun, dude. Yeah, that's it. Peace out.